Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican queen, Miss Y. You're tuned into How I See It TV, and this is a thought clip. Now, Married to Medicine, part 2 of their season 10 reunion will be airing tomorrow night. And I just wanted to talk about whether or not we feel, or whether or not I feel, that Dr. Damon Kimes is a cheater. Now, when we met Heavenly and Dr. Damon in season 2, they came on. Heavenly's calling this man daddy, and she's calling him buddy. And the only thing we know about them is that they have children. Heavenly's a dentist. Damon, he used to work in the ER. I think he was a director or something like that. I know that Eugene used to work under him, and now he's opened his own pain management practice. All we know about their marriage is that it's supposedly perfect. They have no issues. Heavenly can sit up on Married to Medicine and on her YouTube and speak all manners of evil and ill things about her castmates, and Damon is always going to be seen in the confessionals or next to her in a scene with his head down, not saying anything, not even to be on camera saying, listen, these people are also my friends and you're putting me in a weird spot when you're talking to them the way you do, or you're talking about them the way that you do. And maybe they have these conversations behind the scenes, but because we're not privy to it, as Dr. G says, or is going to be saying when part 2 airs tomorrow night, we have no insight regarding the ins and out of Dr. Damon's and Heavenly's marriage. Heavenly even said during BravoCon last year that her marriage isn't up for sale, and we're not going to see her discussing anything that happens within her marriage on the show. But what you will see is her talking about everybody else's marriage, with the exception of Dr. Jackie's, of course, on YouTube and on the show, and coming for everybody's man, right? That's what we will see. Anyways, I just went off on a whole different road. Back to what we're supposed to be talking about. So, the IG live of Letitia, aka SweetTea Lunceford, came into question during part 2. I've seen it all over Instagram and on Twitter, where Andy is asking her about a comment she made regarding Heavenly supposedly telling her that she believed, Mariah, when Mariah said she had the receipts. And a lot of people are saying that they don't believe that Heavenly actually told SweetTea that. But Heavenly went on her YouTube and said herself to Carlos that she did tell Letitia that she believed Mariah when Mariah said, do you want me to bring the receipts? Do you want me to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got the receipts and motherfucking invoices. I don't know if any of y'all remember that epic Married to Medicine moment, which happened because Heavenly, in her mean girl bully mentality, decided that she was going to talk about Mariah's husband's penis side. And when she brought up Aiden's penis side, Mariah stepped back and said, well, I can tell you a whole lot of people who have slept with Damon. And that's probably one of the first times that we've ever heard any discussion, allegations, insinuations that Damon is probably cheating on Heavenly. And if y'all go down to that lipstick alley, you will see some posts over there talking about Damon allegedly having relations with nurses at the hospital that he was working at, and allegedly having relations with people who worked in the hospital during the Ponderosa. Now, I'm not saying that he did. I'm just telling y'all what the Lipstick Alley people were down there saying, right? So Heavenly said, she did say to SweetTea that, look, I cannot swear for any man, not even my own man. I'm not saying that she said it in these words, but when she came to YouTube to explain, her talking about what Mariah said and her telling it to SweetTea, she was basically saying, I was telling the little girl, because that's what she calls Letitia, I was telling her that I can't swear for any man. So when Mariah said she had some receipts on Damon, I did question that maybe Mariah did know something that I don't know. And then Heavenly went on to say that at this point in time, even if Mariah did have receipts, she wouldn't want it now. And even back then, when Mariah said that, Heavenly said that if Damon ever cheated on her, she wasn't going to leave him and she would blame the other women. Now, as it relates to Letitia talking about the whole frying pan and Heavenly hitting Damon upside his head with a frying pan, I'm not saying allegedly, because Heavenly also went to YouTube and said she told Letitia that she hit Damon upside his head with a frying pan because he was out until 4 or something o'clock a.m. in the morning. And when he came home, she was upset and she knocked him upside his head with a frying pan. And so when Letitia went live and she was talking about that whole frying pan incident, she was basically saying, now, I don't know any woman who has all this faith and trust in her man and feels like her marriage is perfect, who's going to be that pissed off that her man came in at 4 a.m. in the morning after hanging out with his buddies and would just hit him upside the head with a frying pan because she was mad he came in late. And for me, that makes sense. Because the only way I'll be that pissed off at my husband for coming home at 4 a.m. in the morning is if I felt like he was out with some bitches, some itches. So Letitia was just saying that with Heavenly telling her about the whole frying pan incident, and with Heavenly telling her that she believed Mariah when Mariah said that Damon was cheating on Heavenly, SweetTea was saying she can only draw the conclusion that Damon had cheated on Heavenly. And I don't see why that is just so hard for y'all to understand. The thing is that a lot of people, they only listen to Heavenly. They only go to Heavenly's interviews and they only go to Heavenly's YouTube and listen to what Heavenly says. So when other members from the cast speak up and speak out about things that are happening on the show and things that are happening behind the scenes, some of you aren't listening. So the only narrative you have is the one that Heavenly is painting for y'all. Now, I'm not saying that Dr. Damon Kimes is a cheater. But to Dr. G's defense, if you don't know the inner workings of somebody's marriage, then you're only going off of what they present to you. So when Damon is like, you've known me for 10 years, do you think I cheat? Do you think I'm a cheater? And Dr. G says, I don't know. And Damon is sitting there all serious talking about, I'm asking a question. It's a yes or no question. It's not a yes or no question, because even the most innocent of men, the most innocent looking, I should say, even the most innocent looking men are sometimes out there cheating. There are plenty of people, women especially, who had no idea that their husband was cheating on them until he either had a baby on her or on his deathbed, at his funeral or something, children are popping up left, right, and center. Let's use Mariah for an example. Well, before we even go to Mariah, let's use Dr. Jackie for example. Many of us had no idea that Curtis was cheating on Jackie. During the Carlos King interview, Dr. Eugene and Cecil both said neither of them had any idea that Curtis was cheating on Jackie. They also said their wives had no idea that Curtis was cheating on Jackie. Jackie probably didn't even know that Curtis was out here cheating on her. And maybe she did and decided that she wasn't going to tell any of her friends, right? So that right there is case in point that you can know somebody for years and years. Cecil said he knew Curtis for years and years and didn't have any idea that this man was out here cheating on Jackie. So what does Dr. G knowing Dr. Damon Kimes for 10 years have to do with whether or not he's cheating on Heavenly? Because I've never seen any of my friends cheating on their husbands. Doesn't mean that they're not doing it. Quite frankly, if I was cheating on my husband, I wouldn't tell any of my friends. Because when my day rolls around, you don't know what people will divulge in terms of secrets you've shared with them. So none of the cast of Married to Medicine knew that Curtis was cheating on Dr. Jackie until those photos came out. And none of the women on that cast knew that Aiden had cheated on Mariah until Mariah, as gracious as she was, decided that she was going to give Jackie some comfort after, we all found out that Curtis was a cheater, pumpkin eater. Mariah told Jackie, look, Aiden and I, we went through the same thing in our marriage. He cheated on me, but we got past it and we're stronger. And Jackie was grateful to Mariah for sharing that. But who would have thought that nerdy looking Aiden, a short Pakistani man, was out here cheating on his beautiful wife, Mariah? None of us could have guessed that. And if Mariah didn't share that, we wouldn't have been the wiser today. Now, as it pertains to Cecil and Simone, in my personal opinion, I don't think that Tammy story that they keep telling actually went down the way it did. I honestly feel like Cecil was out here cheating on Simone with Tammy, and she found out, and that's why she was about to divorce his ass. The story that Cecil is telling, the story that they told on that reunion, and the story that Cecil told in his interview with Carlos this week, was that he and Tammy were friends. Simone knew that they were friends. And all of a sudden one day, Simone just woke up and was just upset about this friendship he had with Tammy. That's the story that they're giving us. So I'm saying all of this to say, not because there's no proof out here, and not because Damon doesn't have a fair buddy, a mistress who wants to be known like a coleslaw, it doesn't mean that he's not cheating. And there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. I don't care how many times Heavenly says it. Cheating might not be the issue, but I'm sure that they've had problems over the years that they're not telling the viewers about, which is unfortunate because the show isn't just about being messy. It's about doctors and their wives sharing how they're balancing their careers, their love life, and their family life. And we're not getting any of that from Dr. Heavenly. All we get is her stirring the pot, and coming for her castmates and lying on her castmates. So, is Damon a cheater? Just like Dr. G said, from where we're sitting and from the things we're looking at, just from the show's standpoint and from what they are presenting about their marital life, the answer is no. We don't know him to be a cheater. But that doesn't mean he's not. Now, I don't want him to be out here cheating on Heavenly. Absolutely not. I would love for their love story to be as perfect as Heavenly says it is. But for me, it was him acting like Dr. G, knowing him for 10 years, should mean that he's not a cheater because they have no evidence. Like, that's just not realistic. As Dr. G said, I don't know the inner workings of your marriage. So there's a whole lot that could be happening in your marriage that I'll never, ever, ever be privy to. And there's a whole lot that could be happening in Dr. Heavenly's marriage that we as viewers are never going to be privy to. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. We still don't know what those infamils were for that were in her cupboard, in her kitchen. We still don't know what they were for. So anyways, y'all, that's my rant. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who got me past that 500 milestone. I'm on the road to monetization. So if you feel like my content needs some crowd, send some people over here and tell them to subscribe, because I'm getting the viewership. I'm just not seeing it reflected in the people who are subscribing. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that when they come over here to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below so I know how you see things too. Thank you for listening. And as I always say, walk good. Bye.